Today I'm going to be debunking a complaint that people have had about Super Smash Bros. Ever since the roster for the game was leaked before it was even out in 2014, and that is that there are too many Mario characters in the game, and this is not true. What's going on? It's Cyroth here, bringing you a new Nintendo video, and today I'm going to be talking about Super Smash Bros. Take a look at this roster right here. I want you to take a good look at it, and now I'm going to highlight some things for you. There are 11 Mario characters currently included in the roster of Super Smash Bros. 4 on the Wii U and 3DS. Now, including DLCs and the 3 Mii Fighters, the total roster size is 58 characters, which means that the amount of Mario characters in there is less than 1/5 of the total roster size. And before I get into the specifics of the reasons why there are not too many Mario characters included in Super Smash Bros., I just want you to think about that. Super Mario being the most popular Nintendo franchise, by far selling the most units out of any franchise in Nintendo, has 19% of the roster of a Nintendo-based fighting game, a game that includes various characters from various Nintendo franchises, some of the most famous ones, and inserts them for people to play as them in the game and have a good time with it. Do you not think that the most popular Nintendo series is deserving of having its roster contain the most characters in the game compared to any other series? But let's say that doesn't convince you. Now I'm going to get into some more in-depth things. So let's just talk about the Mario series in general right now. Okay, the characters in this series are very famous. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Bowser, all extremely popular characters, and you know why it's important to have a bunch of extremely popular characters like the ones contained inside of the Super Mario series in Super Smash Bros. It's important, let's say, for a little kid who wants a video game for Christmas or his birthday or something like that, and then the parent doesn't know much about video games at all. They go out to the store and then they say, oh my goodness, I recognize a couple of these characters that are on the cover of this box containing a game called Super Smash Bros. And you know what they do? They recognize that. They say, hey, he's told me or she's told me, my kid has told me about these characters before. So you know what they do? They buy the game. That is the importance of these characters being included in Super Smash Bros. But it's not just for that popularity factor, it's because people want them in. Nintendo fans want these Mario characters in, and even if you are somebody who's against Mario characters being in Super Smash Bros., you're one of those people that doesn't like Mario games at all, just thinks it's an overrated series, and it's only taking up this roster because of that popularity factor, well, you would be wrong. I've made several videos on my channel just talking about specific aspects about popular characters from this Mario series, and even some that aren't popular, and people are interested in them because they want to learn more about the lore of these Super Mario characters. They're intriguing to them, some that they already know about and desire to learn more information about them, and other characters that they may not have heard about before. And that is what including more Mario characters in Super Smash Bros. Creates. It creates that intrigue. People want to learn more about Rosalina and Luma, so they'll try to main Rosalina and Luma, and in her moveset is hidden with some secrets and Easter eggs from the Super Mario Galaxy games, and they become a fan of that series and so on. Okay, now it's blatantly obvious that you're going to need to have the characters like Mario and Luigi and Bowser and Super Smash Bros. At all. I don't think people are complaining about the insanely popular Mario characters being included here, but let's tackle some of the lesser popular Mario characters in Super Smash Bros. I just mentioned one. It's Rosalina, probably the one in the entire ensemble of Mario characters in Super Smash Bros. That I think would be the least deserving of being included, and yes, that is even surpassing Dr. Mario, but I'm still going to talk to you guys about why I think Rosalina and Luma's inclusion as a playable character in Super Smash Bros. Is a good thing. First things first, nowadays Rosalina is popular. It's a well-known fact that Rosalina has had numerous appearances in new 3D Mario titles and has quickly become a staple character in the series since her debut in the 2 Galaxy games, where she had a prominent role in as your guiding figure in those games. Another character that I see people complaining a lot about is Dr. Mario, but Dr. Mario is like one of those old retro Nintendo characters that gets a slot in the game. You got characters like Game & Watch and Little Mac, retro Nintendo characters. I mean, Little Mac is not entirely retro, but he did have the prime of his lifetime back in the SNES days, so those 2 characters being included are sort of taking a page out of the older Nintendo playbook, those along with Duck Hunt and Rob and so on, and I feel that Dr. Mario is partially included in that category, at least for me, because the old Dr. Mario games, those are, like I just said, they're older games. So Dr. Mario is a retro Nintendo character, and because he's so far away from the rest of the Mario characters, I don't even think that Nintendo really classifies him as a main Mario character that they include in Super Smash Bros. Yeah, he could just be in this section along with Dark Pit and Lucina as another one of the quote-unquote clone characters, although I think that Dr. Mario is different enough from Mario to justify his inclusion, along with the fact that he is a prominent retro character from the Mario series past. Things like Dr. Mario not being able to use Flood in Super Smash Bros. Like Mario is able to do, and just some of the subtle changes that I like to the aesthetics, you know, the pills that bounce up and down off of the stage. I just really like Dr. Mario's inclusion, and some people probably haven't heard of the Dr. Mario games before going into Super Smash Bros., and that's another thing, right? Look at who he's beside, Shulk. How many people do you know that heard of the Xenoblade franchise before Shulk was included in Super Smash Bros.? And look at how that series is doing right now. It just got a new installment in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and it just had a sequel a couple years ago in Xenoblade Chronicles X. Nintendo was trying to build popularity for this series, and what Shulk did is drive some more people to go and want to play Xenoblade Chronicles, and Dr. Mario is also shedding some light on the Dr. Mario series, and that is why he should be included in Super Smash Bros. I get that not all these characters should be included for the sake of product placement, but someone could perhaps, like I mentioned for the Rosalina example, finally discover the Dr. Mario series and fall in love with it. They might be interested more in the lore of this character and go and research it some more, and it may become one of their favorite Nintendo characters of all time. Some people complain about Bowser Jr.'s inclusion in Super Smash Bros., but I definitely think Bowser Jr. is justified, especially because he brings all of his Koopaling brethren with him when he comes to fight in Smash Bros. Bowser's children gaining a prominent role, they're his minions, and they definitely have a unique moveset being included in the Koopa Clown car. I don't think that Bowser Jr. is complained about a lot, and Diddy Kong, because of his prominent role in tournaments and whatnot, because he's been really good in Super Smash Bros. I don't know if he's been nerfed or whatever. I'm not huge into the competitive of Super Smash Bros. At all, but Diddy Kong definitely has a unique moveset, and getting more Donkey Kong representation in Super Smash Bros. Is a good thing. And speaking of the Donkey Kong franchise, now I'm going to talk about the series divisions within the Mario series. Now, you could include many of the Mario characters in this because they've gotten their own spin-off series. Now, I know Luigi's got Luigi's Mansion, however, he's still prominently just a regular Mario character, along with Peach and Bowser, who've gotten their own games as well. But Yoshi has had a huge series based on him getting a new game coming to the Nintendo Switch as well, featuring him and some of those Shy Guy enemies that we all love to see. Wario rarely ever appears in main series Mario games and is mainly used for the WarioWare series, while some other games featuring him. Wario is definitely on his own in terms of the series, and yes, the big one here, Donkey Kong. Those characters, some people honestly, and I'm sort of in this ballpark, that consider the Donkey Kong characters in Super Smash Bros. Part of their own series. People go online and they say that, oh my goodness, we need more Donkey Kong characters in Super Smash Bros. They don't really classify their wanting of King K. Rool as, hey, let's add another Mario character into Super Smash Bros. No, there are too many Mario characters. You know what? You want King K. Rool. He's a Donkey Kong character, but the Donkey Kong series is a subsection of the Super Mario series, and I think they are part of the Mario series of characters in Smash Brothers. However, they're also on their own, like Wario and Yoshi. So all these Mario characters that are being included, yes, they're technically Mario characters. However, they're representing their own individual series. And like I said about Dr. Mario and Rosalina and Luma, them representing their own series leads people to investigate into the lore of these characters, potentially pick up some of the games that are within their series and fall in love with them, become their new favorites. Super Smash Bros. As a game itself is just promoting various Nintendo franchises, but also allowing people to fall in love with those specific characters and become more of a fan about a specific Nintendo series, and perhaps choose them as their main in Super Smash Brothers and become more integrated into that character series than ever before. So I hope now you can tell that the fact that there are 11 Mario characters in Smash 4 is not too many. Now, I'm going to be making videos like this about some other series that are in Smash Brothers as well, but right now I want to give you guys an idea of how many new Mario characters that I think are going to be included in the next iteration of Super Smash Brothers. Let's say that we get an entirely new iteration of Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo Switch, which I think is pretty likely, and you could find more information about that in a video that I'll link at the end of this one. But how many are we really gonna get here? This is going to be its own topic of video of how big I think the Smash roster is going to be, but considering that from Smash Brawl to Smash 4 we got around 2 new Mario characters, I think that if they really want to expand the roster a bit more, that we're going to be getting around 2 to 3 new Mario characters. And considering that I'm expecting the rest of the roster to expand in a similar way as it did before as well, you could say that that won't be an overwhelming number of Mario characters in the new Smash Brothers, because it is in scale with this existing roster, and I have already explained that there are not too many Mario characters in Super Smash Brothers right now, so that many new ones being introduced, around 2 to 3, would make sense. I think those characters could be King K. Rool, Waluigi, Toad is one that people want, more specifically Captain Toad. They've already thrown hints at Geno being in Super Smash Brothers, although there are issues surrounding his copyright. However, Nintendo has been bigger partners with Square Enix more frequently, not only including Cloud Strife in Super Smash Brothers, but also the new Project Octopath Traveler game coming to the Nintendo Switch, which I find looks pretty good, by the way. I really enjoyed that demo, so I definitely think that Geno could also be included in Super Smash Brothers. But what Mario characters do you want to be included in Super Smash Brothers? Let me know in the comment section below, and remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Now, the one that I was just talking about is my latest Super Smash Brothers video, where I debate on both sides. Is it going to be a Smash 4 port to the Switch, or are we going to be getting an entirely new game? Which is more likely? Click on that video to find out, and check out some of my other videos on the screen as well. Have a great day, guys. Peace out.